Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, August 21st, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy hump day, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, this market in a consolidation mode, especially after the recent squeeze. We've been seeing a pattern of high range days followed by compression days, followed by high range days and compression days, and that's kind of the pattern we're in at the moment. Watching to see if we begin to see some sort of expansion day develop through yesterday's highs. You can see here again expansion or big time trend day scenario, 2 compression days, expansion, compression, expansion, compression, expansion, compression. And so here we are in a holding pattern ahead of today's FOMC Meeting Minutes and crude oil inventories, the 20-year bond auction at noon Central. And then, of course, all eyes on Jackson Hole Symposium Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Fed Chair Powell speaking 9 a.m. Friday. So we could be in a bit of a holding pattern here as the market awaits Fed Chair Powell and Jackson Hole and what headlines come out of that. But we are still in a very dramatic bullish squeeze at this moment. So this market right now still seeing a big time squeeze, and that's hard to fade against right now. You don't want to fade into this strength at the moment. Instead, bulls look to defend morning weakness for a shot at an upside continuation until proven otherwise. A big level to watch in these types of markets is the previous session's low price. Any pullback to that zone could provide a bear trap that opens up a potential outside day up or an upside continuation. So that's what we're looking for here. Perhaps today develops into a 2-day narrow range ahead of the afternoon Fed minutes. Once the afternoon Fed minutes comes out, we could be looking at additional volatility into the end of the day, but with an upward bias until proven otherwise. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. Similar price action here for the NQ. High range days followed by low range days. You can see right here, high range, 2 low range compressions, high range, low range, high range, low range. Compression leads to expansion, and that's what we've been seeing here in this up move. Again, in an uptrending market, you want to continue to remain in the direction of that short-term trend. Look to buy into morning weakness for a shot at a continuation to the upside. Any pullback to the previous session's low could be a bear trap opportunity for an upside continuation as this market continues to see strength until proven otherwise. Right now, very narrow range of price action for both the ES and the NQ. They're both trading 19% of ADR, 19% ahead of the RTH Open. The ES is at just 16 points of range. The NQ is trading 78 points of range right now. That's very, very narrow ahead of the RTH Open, as this market likely in a holding pattern ahead of the afternoon Fed minutes. Again, any kind of early weakness could be an opportunity to buy ahead of afternoon strength. All right, looking at crude oil. Crude in the previous session was trying to put in a strong low and did so initially, but gave those gains back by the end of the day. Big time pullback by the end of the day here. This thing is still trading off the key range low of 72.48. We've seen this thing crater to the downside. We were looking for this thing to snap back to 75.91, and then through 75.91 was going to open up 72.50, and we kind of got there, right? We got to 72.52, and now inside day compression at the moment. I mentioned before that this market has mostly stayed within the 72 to 82 zone. That's been most of this year's price action. Anytime it gets a little bit below that zone, it snapped back. Right here, below it, snapped back. If it's gotten above it, it hasn't held above it for long before it's come back across the range. So 72 to 82 continues to be the larger trading range right now, and if we were to see a retest of this recent low, 71.67, it could provide a fade back up towards 76 and across the range toward 82. So right now this market in a clear down move until we find a strong low. The previous session's low was a good pre-market low. Perhaps a retest of that low could provide a fade back up, but we're still watching for a strong reaction here that'll get us going back the other way. Until then, still a downtrending market until proven otherwise. Looking at gold futures right now, gold putting in new highs just yesterday. Again, we were looking for this thing to put in new highs beyond the previous high here, and we got it. Not only did we get it, we got it in a good way. I mean, this was a really good squeeze. We got 25.70, and right now inside day, and like we've mentioned before, after these new highs, we've gotten some pretty deep counter trend rotations. And so we just put in a new high here. Do we get another counter trend rotation? Do we come back toward 2,500 before this thing tries for another round of strength? So somewhere between 2480, 2500 could be a pullback zone ahead. Right now, again, hard to fade into this strength, but if we start to fail back below 2540, there could be a counter trend move ahead. Looking at the YM has had some great bullish price action here lately, beginning with this failed new low and big squeeze. We talked about this compression to begin last week and how that was the best breakout candidate, and it did give us the best breakout move. I mean, this thing was huge, moved well over 1,000 points, and continues to hold at the highs at this moment. You can see how compressed this market is over the last 3 days, but maintaining those gains. Right now, 16% of average range right now. Super tiny. 84 points of range heading into the RTH Open. That's nearly unheard of at times, unless it's holiday trading. So this is clearly a holding pattern, again, ahead of FOMC meeting minutes later on this afternoon, ahead of Jackson Hole beginning tomorrow, and ahead of Fed Chair Powell, 9 a.m. Central, Friday. So this market, again, in a holding pattern, still a very bullish move overall. If we were to see a test the previous session's low, it could be a fade back up until proven otherwise. Lastly here, we're going to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. As we mentioned Monday here, these markets are still building out significant compressions here. And that could continue to be the case. I mean, these compressions right here are building significant energy. We continue to see a pattern of downtrending price action. And this market still has yet to really find acceptance above 60K. And you can see some tail events happening above that zone. So at some point here, we're going to see an expansion event out of this compression. Do we go down first before this thing tries to rally back across the range? Again, we could be in a holding pattern with crypto in general until Q4. And right now, it wouldn't be surprising if we tried another retest of these lows. But right now, really quiet price action, trading well within these ranges and continuing to develop energy, build energy for the next big move to come. Same thing with ETH here. This one currently down 0.9%. Still a downtrending move here, especially from these recent highs at 4,000, back down, pull back to 35.70, and down into 21.70. That's been a big time failure here, nearly giving back nearly 50% from the May highs. And now you have yourself a compression that's developing here, and it's building some energy. Again, this one recently had spot ETFs begin trading, and that was in this time frame here. We knew that the futures could take a bit of a hit, and then soon we could begin to see a buildup of energy that leads to inflows that can take this thing much higher. But right now, compression, building energy, and it wouldn't be surprising if we retest these recent lows. That could provide another opportunity to get this thing going back above 2,800, and especially back above 2,900. The break back above that zone will open up a move that could take us back to 34 and 4,000. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.